Here we go. Oh, good morning, everyone. And I'm really, really happy today to be chatting to Noleen. And she is a wonderful, wonderful lassie. She's actually a pioneer of getting us looking gorgeous on video. You know, she knows all the right products we have to put on and what's good for us and what isn't, how to look good in front of the camera. She is amazing. She's also a lovely regular member of Sparkling Synergy. And she's going to tell us, or tell me, what she enjoys about Sparkling Synergy, how it's helped her with her business, and what's the benefits of being part of the mad crowd that is the Sparkling Synergy community. Because let's face it, woo-woo light workers are crazy. They have to be. So Noleen and I fit in very well. So Noleen, honey, over to you. What brought you to Sparkling Synergy in the first place?
So first of all, I'm delighted to be here today to talk about my favorite networking. I'm just going to say it straight out. I absolutely love Sparkling Synergy. What actually happened for me was it was actually recommended to me by one of the other ladies in there. And she said to me, you will love this networking event. And I was like, okay. And I said, right, I'll give it a try. And I remember the very first day that I went, and instantly I was like, it was just this like, do you know when you just go somewhere and you just feel, oh, this is just a lovely space to be in, everybody was so nice. What I loved as well is like, what was different, and it is just so different about your, networking event to others is like, for example, you start off with a lovely meditation as well, and that was a lovely way to ground you. And it just felt like, especially when you go to something like this for the first time, like you are nervous, and, we're always nervous at these things, even when we've been a few times, but it's just kind of almost like that thing of like, okay, I'm a bit nervous, but it's like, oh, okay, now I feel lovely and relaxed. So it puts you in that lovely space to begin with. Like, it's such a great way to start the meeting. And then, as I said, like, when I was meeting the people and listening to the people, I was like, oh my God, these people are doing really great things. This is lovely. And, and then obviously then I noticed there was the spotlight sessions as well, was really great because you really get to know people and hear a bit more. And what was also great about that was, again, as opposed to maybe other networking events, it's that, yes, obviously people are telling you about themselves and their business, but I also found like I actually took something away from it as well. Like, they give you great tips and there's a lot of value in what they're saying as well, so these are just some of the reasons why. And again, what I also love as well is, obviously you, Liz. I mean, I'm one of your biggest fans. I mean, you're just, but you're just so incredible. Like, I love your energy. I love, your values and your ethics and all of that as well. And you just put so much into the meetings as well, and you just make it such a lovely place for the rest of us to be in as well. Like, again, for example, at the end of the session, I love that you read some cards for us as well, and they always, I don't know what it is, but they always seem to be the exact right ones that I need to hear that day. Or also another thing that you do that I really love is when you give like one of your little talks as well, and again, it always feels like that message is just on point that day, and I'm a bit of a nerd, like I'll sit there and I'll be taking notes of what you're saying, but actually I do find myself going back to them because, or maybe I might have forgotten about it, but then say I'm getting ready for the next session and I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I forgot that from last night, that again, yeah, that's exactly what I need to hear. So, I feel like it's almost like I'm going to a networking meeting, but it's also like a bit like a mastermind as well. And also like a coaching session, if you like, too. So it's kind of like you're getting everything all in one. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I thought of it like that. I mean, I set the group up simply because there was a lot of people like me who were like a fish out of water in normal networking circles. So it was important for me to create a space where everybody felt comfortable to talk about what they did openly without any barriers and feeling embarrassed or what people are going to say. Am I going to get judged? And of course, we don't have any of that nonsense.
No. And actually, it's interesting you bring that up as well, Liz, because that is something else that I've noticed as well. And this is why I say maybe there is the bit of the masterminding, if you like, element in there, because there have been times when some people have come, obviously, yes, we can do our 60-second pitch, but sometimes some people come and they're like, I don't actually have the pitch, but I really need help with something today, or I'm struggling. And again, and it's, as you said, it's not like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed, I can't say this, because it's this really stiff kind of networking event. It's like, actually, no, and I need help. help, or even things like, I've got this event coming up and I would love you to share it with people. Would you mind? Can I give you the link and you share it? Like, and there's that lovely element there. It's a community and actual, like, really is supportive. Do you know what I mean? And you're very supportive on that, but so is everybody else there too, So again, this is why I say there's that lovely energy. I feel safe being there, and it's a lot of fun as well. Like, we have a lot of laughs.
Oh, you have to have fun. God's sake, business is tough enough without going all stiff and starchy with it. No, you've got to have some fun. It's got to be enjoyable. And yeah, it's very important for me that energy is high and supportive and caring, because that's what I created it to be, and that's how it's going forward and growing, which is brilliant. Yeah. So how has it been for business with you?
Oh, excellent. I mean, I think actually most of my clients now are coming from Sparkling Synergy, which is exactly, I never expected that to happen. I mean, for me, I would say first and foremost, the reason I go to Sparkling Synergy is all the reasons I just mentioned there, because it is this lovely safe space to go. And actually, just something I just thought of, if you don't mind, I mentioned is and I mentioned this to you last month, for example, at last month's session, I'd had a really busy week, and even I had a client literally before the session and it ran over late. And then, I was at the phase, I was like, oh, will I go? Oh, I'll just leave. And I said, no, Noleen, you're going. Okay. And I was so glad that I went, because as I say, you think about the fun element there as well. It instantly cheered me up, because being around you ladies is just such a laugh as well. Okay. But also I came away feeling inspired and motivated, again, because of the talks, the things that you had said, Liz, the other people that gave in, that they did their session as well. And just again, even listening to everybody else and what they were up to, it's so inspirational, because when you feel, oh God, I'm just not in the mood now, it's like, you know what, no, actually, and you get inspired by listening to what other people are doing as well. So that was just something I just wanted to mention there too. But yeah, obviously going back to the other part about clients, yeah, I mean, I've had so many of my clients, you Liz, I mean, you ended up being my clients. Do you know what I mean? And I never expected that to happen, but that's been obviously a wonderful part of this as well. And also there's been collaborations going on too as well, like I've chatted to a lot of the people in there. Like, I like to take it offline, and I know it's something you encourage a lot as well. I say offline, we're still obviously online because we're talking on Zoom, but it's just as well, it's lovely because you only get obviously so much time, when we're all in a group together. And it's been really lovely to connect with people offline as well, and have like a bit more of an in-depth conversation. And then as well see, like, okay, some of us have said, right, maybe we'll collaborate together, or we'll introduce each other to other people as well. So it's not just, okay, so we have our group, but then that just spreads so far and wide then too, because we all just want to be supportive of each other too.
Yeah, this is it. It's, it's always said in networking circles, it's not the people in the room, it's the people they know. Well, for us, it is the people in the room, because we want that energy there. We don't want the naysayers and the negative Nellies. We want the awake and light workers who know their mission, or learning their mission and going forth. And so that makes a heck of a difference, is that we are all there to support one another. And there's so much talent and knowledge in that group that we will benefit from them. So naturally we're going to recommend, because we get to know each other and understand what they do. We're naturally going to recommend one another to people that we know would benefit from their gifts without any hesitation. And yeah, working with you was hilarious. It sort of tweaked things I needed. It wasn't that I had no clue about how to present. It was I needed extra bits on how to present. Yes. And that's what I got from you. And also, that the right makeup to put on, not the stuff that makes me itch and the stuff I'm thinking, oh God, I got to put polyfiller on again. Yes. It was it was the standard joke in our house. Mother's got the polyfiller out. And all these little things add up to making a big transition in what you're doing, in how you come across, because it boosts your confidence.
And it's an up level, isn't it, Liz? Because as you said, like, you already knew a lot of stuff, and we're always going to be, whatever we're doing, whether it be in business, even in life, we all start at the beginning, we all go to that, we're at the foundational level. But then there comes a time when, okay, so you have that, you're great, and you feel good, and you start, yeah, I feel better, I feel confident. But then that doesn't end there. Then it's like, okay, well, now I go to the next level of confidence, or the next level of the thing that I want to do in my business. And that's what I love as well. And again, about being in somewhere like Sparkling Synergy, because we are all people like that who are helping each other grow continually, you know. And it, as I say, it isn't just a one and done, you know. It's right, we are always going to be getting to that next level, because as we grow, we're ready for the next level, and we're going to help people coming up behind us do the same thing too, you know. So yeah, I think that's why for me it's like, you know, it gets boring if you get to that level and you're like, okay, well, what, we're going to do that forever? No, come on, like.
But we're not meant to. This is the whole thing. We're meant to grow. Energy isn't meant to stagnate. It dies if it does, and causes illness, causes havoc. So we have to keep growing, and it's enjoyable and it's fun. And when you've got somebody that you know well and you trust, learning from them isn't difficult.
Oh yeah, I so agree with that. And I love that you mentioned about, funny there, you say about energy and not stagnating. I remember that was also one of the messages you gave us at one of the meetings a few months ago. And again, I remember at the time thinking, I loved how you said it, because it was, and I was kind of going through a bit of up leveling myself. And you know, when you're in that like bridging part of, oh, but it's comfortable here, but oh, should I go? And then you were like, energy, and it makes you ill. And I was like, you're so right. Okay, Noleen, get out of your head, you know. And again, this is what I mean about like going to the meetings. It does, it gets you out of your head sometimes, you know. It's like, and I'm very comfortable with my own company and everything. I've no problem with that. But I know there's times I get in my head and I'm like, no, and I need to be surrounded then by people, you know, like yourselves, who gets me out of that. And it's like, no, okay, you're not staying where you are. Come on, Missy, you got to, you know, you give me the kick up the ass I need, you know.
This is it. We're all good at doing that. And we've also got a lovely closed Facebook group. So the fun continues in there, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. The Facebook group is lovely, actually. And, you know, again, like I love that people post really positive things in there as well. And again, obviously, you know, of course, there's times, as well as we've already mentioned, like sometimes we're going through a hard time or we need help with something. And again, it feels like it's a really lovely place to come into the Facebook group between times and say, okay, I need help with this thing, you know. And so there's the element of, there's a lot of the positive in there and motivational and inspirational. And there's also the time, I need help. Can you help pick me up? You know, and I think that's what I love about obviously the in-person meetings, but as you say, between sessions, we have the Facebook group to do that as well.
Yes, it's amazing what goes on between sessions, really, because, you know, we do the one-to-ones on Zoom. I get to do in-person ones with people that are local. But it builds us, doesn't it? It really helps us to be of more service.
It does.
Which is great.
And I think as well is just, sorry to interrupt you there, but just something I thought of about the Facebook group as well is that, you know, obviously, as you know, like I don't live in the UK, I'm abroad. So obviously I don't go to the in-person meetings because it's just physically not possible. And what I love about the Facebook group is that actually, and especially for say something like the day, what we have our, what do we call it? Showcase Your Business Day, isn't it? We call it now.
Yeah.
And what I've noticed as well, particularly over the last few weeks, is I'm loving that day because I'm getting to see other people's stuff in there that people I've maybe never met because they go to the in-person one and I don't. So again, that's another really great thing I'm liking about the Facebook group is that, you know, yes, there's obviously the core group that I will know, and there's obviously new people come all the time as well. But again, because we have that group, it's extending that even further again. Do you know what I mean? So I'm still getting to meet even more people. And then again, you can reach out to them, take it offline, have a conversation with them, maybe even book their services or whatever, or buy from them, you know? So it's really great that we have both, I think, you know?
It's a community. Although obviously when I started, it was one in-person group in Amersham, in Buckinghamshire, in England. And when we went into lockdown, it was like, okay, now what we're going to do? And so eventually we got Sparkling Synergy International was born. So it's great, but it is one community. It doesn't feel like it's, well, this is the in-person group and this is the online group. It just feels like one community because there is so much interaction in between times. And, you know, there are people who come in person also come onto the Zoom ones. So you're getting, which is great. It's nice to have that that chat going on. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Please.
And I think as well for the people who are in the UK, because what I've noticed is like there'll be some people that like say, okay, I'm definitely going to the in-person one, but then maybe there'll be a month where they can't make it. So then they also have the option of going to the online one. Or as you said, there's obviously some people come to both actually.
Yeah,
but yeah, you know, and I wish I could go to both. I'd love to be able to do that.
I wish you could.
But,
well, when you're in the UK, you will.
I know. I was going to say, trust me, Liz, it's top of my list. I'm going to make sure that I time it around the time of the in-person meeting. But yeah, it's lovely as well to have that option for people too. Yeah. I think, you know, so for some people, yeah, they get to go twice a month. They get twice the fun.
No, it does seem to be working well. I must admit, it was never on the cards when I started 3 years ago. What we're doing now has really blossomed, and it's a real blessing to see everybody in the group doing well. Because I see them when they come in and thinking, I'm not too sure about this, and so now they're blooming and the business is growing, and also they're developing along their own spiritual pathway. So it's a win-win situation for me watching everybody grow. It's fabulous.
Yeah. And I think as well, it's great that there's a variety of different businesses in there too, you know, like there's also people like myself, like obviously there's a lot of people doing, you know, they're light workers and that, but there's also people like myself who's doing something a bit different. We also have like, you know, like Deborah who teaches content, you know, we have Lynn who does branding, we have Karen who does websites. So it's great that it's almost like we have the full package of what you need. Do you know what I mean? And I really love that as well. So it's kind of like, that you have the more maybe practical, if you like, you know, but also the other side of it as well, like the spiritual side as well, as you said, you know, and it's lovely. It's just such a lovely combination of both, I think.
Well, the thing is, light workers can be in any single field. They can be engineers, they can be miners, they can be, you know, brand experts. Yes, obviously, you know, we think a lot about the spiritual side and our health, homeopaths and massage therapists and all the rest of it, but it's a heart-centered business. It doesn't matter what the business is, the fact that it's led from the heart and is part of aligned with their sole purpose for being down here. And I think that's what makes us different, is that and so we attract the energy that we put out within that group is what attracts people to come and find out more about us. Isn't it?
Well, and it's interesting that because again, you mentioned something like this a few months ago, because I never considered myself a light worker. And you said something a few months ago very similar to that. And you were saying it's not about you are just this type of person or that's what you do or what you offer. It's just like you said, it's like you're heart centered and you're like, all of you are. And I was like, oh, it was always like this light bulb moment for me. I never thought of myself like that, you know? So again, I think you're right there. That is like, obviously I was attracted, even though I felt like, okay, well, that's not the type of work I do, but I was obviously attracted and stayed for a reason, you know? And I think that was also as well, like, I don't know, like a little bit of a weight maybe lifted off me as well, because, you know, it was nice to know, okay, well, actually, I do actually, like, because there was a time where I was like, well, but I don't do that work, so I don't fit in there, but I don't do the other really, you know, only strategy either, and I don't fit in there. But when you said that, it was like, actually, it isn't just trying to fit, you know, these are the types of people that do this and they're light works and that's it. It's like, no, actually, if this is what you believe and this is how you know, these are your values and the way you work with people, then actually, you are this. And I was like, oh, that actually is lovely. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. It's giving you a different perspective, because we've got a few of them in there who have said, we're not intuitive and we're not this, that, no. And I just say, really? Can you not see what you've done? You know, when something's pointed out to you, you think, well, oh yeah, that makes sense, but you don't think of it yourself as being like that. And it is a journey for all of us, and long may it continue. That's all I say.
Absolutely, I hope so. I've got sparkling synergy in my calendar already for the next few months, so
oh great. Fabulous.
I look forward to it every month.
No, it is rather a special place. I think it is. It is. So, honey, people who have listened to us jabbering on and seeing you in action, if anybody wants to get charismatic and confident in front of a camera, you need to speak to Noleen. So, Noleen, tell people how they can contact you.
Sure. And probably the best thing to do is go to my website, which is www.noleenslinymakeup.com. Now, I will say the website is a bit of transition at the minute, but you can still, like, the program, for example, is still on there. But feel free to reach out to me as well. There's a contact form there. Obviously I'm on like social media too. So I'm mostly these days on Facebook and on LinkedIn. So you just find me as Noleen Sliney. I'm literally the only Noleen Sliney on the internet, so it's very easy to find me. So yeah, you won't have any problems there. But yeah, reach out and I would love to chat to you about this and help you. As I said, yeah, Liz, I've worked with you on this as well. And obviously it's something I've been through myself personally too, because it's not, we're not natural on camera because it's not something we've ever really had to do, and then all of a sudden you have a business and it's like, oh God, now I have to be on camera. But it doesn't have to be that scary. It's like just you and I today having a conversation. So, obviously there are things I can help you with there, but yeah, I'd love to chat to you.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Noleen. It's been absolute joy chatting to you. So there you are, folks. If you like the look of our Noleen and you want some of that sparkle she's got, get in touch. And if you want to come to Sparkling Synergy, then definitely get in touch, because we'd love to welcome you into the community. So bye for now. Speak to you soon.